I watched F1 the movie and I'm so excited to talk about it. This was like one of my most anticipated films of this year for multiple reasons. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who's made Top Gun Maverick, which is like one of my favorite films of all time. It stars Brad Pitt, one of the most charismatic and cool actors of all time. Absolutely love him. And I am a huge Formula One fan. I love Formula One. It's almost like the film was tailor-made for someone like me, and I have to say, it completely delivers. This is one of the most satisfying theatrical experiences I've had all year, and I was so happy walking out of the theater. I had such a blast. It was a lot of fun and just a great time at the movies. This is literally one of those movies, right? Like, which is the reason why you watch movies. Like, you watch it on the big screen, like, this is why I watch movies. And I urge all of you to just check it out on the biggest screen possible with the best sound. This is a film that is made to watch in IMAX. The film is entirely shot in IMAX, except for like a moment in the beginning, I think. Everything else is IMAX ratio. Even the conversations between characters, even when it's just characters talking, it's all captured in IMAX. And I think that really adds this level of authenticity to the film, in the sense that it's very consistent with its style, even in those sequences. And the cinematography has to be praised here. It has a certain texture and a vibe to it that's so nice. Like, it's just really nice to watch a film that's really paying attention to this texture and vibe and making it consistent in all these sequences. It's not like these racing sequences are the highlight of the film and then the rest of the film is like a certain way. It's consistently that way, and that's what I really like. And of course, the racing is great. The racing is exhilarating. It's absolutely spectacular to just watch on the big screen. But what really works here is this beautiful integration of extraordinary cinematography and sound design. These two things go so well together in this film that they create an atmosphere as if you are inside the driver's seat driving through the circuits. The amount of attention to detail that went into creating the atmosphere of what it feels like in the driver's seat is impeccable, and they have so many interesting ways to show this, right? I mean, obviously one is the view of the cockpit where you're literally in view of what Brad Pitt is seeing on the track, and that's great. That's like one view, but the film goes for multiple other things. There's this one thing they keep repeating in the races where the camera completely swivels to give you a view of what's next to the car, so to let you understand the scope of the race. And that's just beautiful. It really sucks you into the moment. It really pulls you in and draws you in to what a driver feels like when he's driving the car. And also, much like an F1 racing season, the entire race is basically spread across the film. It's not your typical structure of having a big opening race and then a big ending race. Sure, it does have a big opening and a big ending, but the races are consistent, because the film captures about 9 circuits in the actual Formula One racing calendar. It captures 9 of those circuits, and while it's doing that, it consistently spaces them out in the film. So you have this beautiful balance between the sequences with dialogue, between the sequences with drama, and these action sequences, and that creates this brilliant energy that just keeps the film moving. The film is 2 hours 36 minutes long, and not a single minute of it feels wasted. It's just consistently very entertaining. Even with the couple of minor issues here and there, the film manages to draw you in from start to finish. It's consistently engaging and you will be on the edge of your seat throughout. But from a Formula One perspective, let's just talk about it for a minute, what the film is from a Formula One perspective. Now, I am slightly divided on this. There are moments which are so well researched and so accurate to Formula One that I genuinely was involved in what's going on. The way they show pit stops, the way they've explained certain scenarios here and there, and the amount of weight and importance that they give to tire strategy and in general just strategizing is actually quite interesting, because that's exactly how the actual races are too. It's not just about the driving, it's about the entire thing. It's about how the entire team performs. I mean, though it seems like it's just one driver driving for his life on the track, it's more than that. It's actually a very team-based sport. I think that spirit of Formula One is what they've brought out so beautifully in the film. But on the other hand, there are certain sequences where I just look at it, and from the perspective of a guy who's been following Formula One, there are things that bugged me. There are moments that felt a bit too exaggerated. There are moments that feel like they're probably pushing the limits and rules of Formula One a bit too much. They're probably pushing the sport too much. And I admit that they were not probably the most accurate in terms of authenticity, but they were fun. Like this, it was just fun. Like I it's just one of those conflicting things, right? Like there's certain moments that conflicted me so much. Like I was entertained. Like I was absolutely entertained by what was happening, but it's also slightly bugging me in the Formula One perspective. But I'm not really gonna hold that against the film, because this is a film that's made to be a cinematic blockbuster, right? It's a film that's made for wider audiences. It's a film that's trying to be very commercial, and in that sense it really delivers. I can actually see a lot of people watching this film and being genuinely interested to know more about the sport, to really go out and understand what Formula One is about. There's a lot of things in there that could pique their interest and be like, oh, what does that mean? I need to research about it later, and to see how it works, and they probably be compelled to watch a couple of races as well. So I think in that perspective the film does its job. But for someone who's a die-hard fan of Formula One, I think you can find certain inconsistencies, you can find certain things that might bug you, but again, it depends on your perspective. I totally watched this from a cinematic perspective, and the film absolutely delivered. Let's talk about Brad Pitt for a moment, because how is that man 60? This is a genuine question. How is that man 60? I have no understanding. I genuinely have no idea, but man, is he so cool in the film. He is just excellent. Like he's one of those actors, right? Like who's so effortless on screen that you don't really think about him acting. But it takes a lot of skill to do that as well, right? Like to just be effortless and just laid back and charming at the same time. So I think Brad Pitt knocks it out of the park. It's totally a Brad Pitt movie, if you ask me. And all of the performers are great. Like all of the actors just do a great job. Damson Idris is amazing. Kerry Condon is amazing. Javier Bardem is a standout. He is great. But here's the problem, right? I have a little problem. The thing is, the drama works well. I was involved in the drama, but it could have used a bit more tension, and where that lack of tension comes from is the underwritten characters. I mean, you can see the character arc from start to finish. There is a progression in the character, but the journey is not that smooth, and you don't really have that much of a personality. Like you can probably attribute a personality, but it never really takes you to these characters, right? It never really takes you through the journey of these characters. Maybe Sony Hez is the strongest characters, and I absolutely loved him, even from a writing perspective. But the other characters, the supporting cast and all of them, they're just there in the film, and the performances elevate the entire character to a degree. It's too awesome. Like it's probably like a literal masterclass in how acting can literally elevate a character regardless of how well it is written. But again, it does come down to the writing of the character as well, and that did bug me sometimes. It's like this drama, this tension could have been even better if this particular thing would have been resolved. But anyways, I beyond that, I don't really have a lot of complaints, you know. The cinematography was stellar, the editing, the sound design, the direction. Joseph Kosinski has an eye for detail that not a lot of filmmakers have, especially in terms of blockbuster filmmaking. He's a true filmmaker who can actually make things for the big screen. He knows how to present things, and he also knows how to make things grounded and authentic and as realistic as possible. So I think in that sense, the film just scores full marks in all of those departments. And of course, the music. I don't need to tell you that Hans Zimmer is a legend. I don't need to tell you that he's like one of the greatest composers of all time. But man, does he deliver. The score here is so unique in the sense that it's not what I expected from the film. It's not really the kind of score I was expecting. It's very techno, and it strangely reminded me of the score from Challengers, which is a very bizarre thing to compare the score of F1 the movie to something like Challengers. But believe me, it works. It genuinely works. When you're watching this racing, this beautifully visualized racing sequences, and Hans Zimmer's score plays in, There is nothing better. You are literally flying in your seat. It is that good. It is that involving. It is that engaging. So yeah, big shout out to Hans Zimmer's score. Absolutely amazing stuff. This is just absolutely one of the best films of the year. It's great stuff all around. I totally recommend that you watch it in the biggest screen possible, and IMAX if possible. So yeah, there's that. Let me know what you guys thought about the film down in the comments. If you found this video interesting, definitely subscribe and give the video a like. Check out the channel for other such content. Thank you, and I'll see you again.